day, everyone. This is Meredith Leon McCormick for World Bride Magazine, and we are still on lockdown during this coronavirus COVID-19 situation, and brides are panicking. But we are here to help you ease your pain and your challenges that you face, and we're bringing upon the best experts in the industry. One of the hardest hit in this whole pandemic has been the fashion industry. Retail is not considered a necessity, but yet people were still planning their wedding. We wanted to ask the question, how are we going to assist you to go through this phase and still have a memorable wedding? And we decided we were going to call upon all our professionals that have been doing this for years. And among them is Mr. Mark Ingram of Mark Ingram Atelier in New York City. Hey, Mark, how are you?
Hey, Meredith, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm wonderful. You look fabulous in quarantine, honey. It's fabulous.
I'm dealing. I just gave myself a little hair trim today because it was a mess.
Oh my God, you look gorgeous. I love the beard. You're giving me handsome. So Mark, I know that your salon is one of the upscale bridal salons that has featured and carries the most affluential of names in the high-end fashion industry, from Inez de Santo, Naeem Khan, and Carolina Herrera, and all of those others. And you've worked with countless of those. How has the bridal industry been hit along with this whole pandemic?
Well, it's a disaster because, girls have had weddings planned on the books for years, several months, years out. Any wedding that was taking place in April, May, or June, and possibly July had to be postponed, canceled, moved. So the stress of that alone on the brides, I can't imagine what that was like on the brides, the planners, the event designers, their parents, their family. It's a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety, and a lot of change.
Right. So how have you been able to comfort your brides going through this process? Because the deliveries of the dress, has that been impacted? The pickups, that been impacted?
Everything's been impacted because most factories in the U.S. that produce the dresses of the designers have been closed. Most designer businesses have been closed along with the retail stores. In Europe, it was closing before the United States. So all my Italian designers and designers in Israel and other countries, Greece, they had closed down weeks before we did. But with weddings being canceled and postponed, it was rather okay because the whole process began to stop. Now we're sort of going back. We're reaching out to all the brides to find out the rescheduled wedding dates, if there are some, and how we shift the production to the manufacturer by calling them and letting them know how to prioritize. A lot of dresses were already in the pipe, they're already in the process of being made when this happened. So now it'll just be a backup, and we'll continue to ship based on need when we do reopen, hopefully late May.
Okay. Now, the other thing that I know you're hit with it twice, because one, you run a salon and you have your own collection.
Brand,
that was made in Italy, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
so how has that been impacted?
Well, luckily, regarding my own brand, we have a tremendous market in Asia. And so we already showed the new collection for 2021 in Japan back in the end of January. I literally got home from Japan, I think it was February 3rd or 4th, just ahead of coronavirus hitting Japan. I was very, very lucky about that. So my collection was already 95% completed. It was already purchased by the Asian market. But regarding the USA market, there was no market in April. There will be no market probably until the fall. But my collection is done. It will be shipped to my store very soon. Okay. As soon as Italy opens up again, I'll have the samples in my store until we do have a market. So I'll be able to show brides something brand new for 2021. Regarding the retail store part of it, there really is no guideline for us. We are in a very close proximity with our clients. We have to practice social distancing, and that's a very tentative rope to walk because we are in a very personal business. We have small ateliers with limited space. limiting distance ability. We will have to then recreate how the salon looks in terms of spatially. In my case, luckily, I don't have a lot of hard walls. My fitting rooms are made of heavy drapery, so we can reconfigure the fitting rooms into larger fitting rooms that are further apart from each other. That's our initial plan. We're planning to see less brides, maybe two maximum at a time, even stagger those appointments and ask them to really limit their guests to one person at most, because we want to protect them, and they also need to protect us as well. Don't you agree, Meredith?
I can't agree with you more. It almost sounds like you are going to be operating your salon, your atelier, as a doctor's office now, because currently the way a doctor's office sees his patient is only by appointment only, and they only take two at a time. The waiting room, absolutely nobody's sitting there waiting, so that it eliminates the cross-contamination, the amount of people. But you made some brilliant points that, you know, you're not in the business of, you can't touch somebody because you have to put the dress on, you have to help them with the dress, zipper it up, clamp it up. So there is going to be human contact. So I feel like it's almost going to be at the discernment of the bride to know your health. To know if you're not healthy enough, you shouldn't be out anyway. So don't make your appointment and then do that. But then, you know, in scheduling this appointment, I did, you know, I'm very concerned for you guys as businesses. Brides have to now take the appointments very, very seriously, because, you know,
we'll do extra vetting on our part, because really, in all fairness, we need to see the brides whose weddings are the closest to the
exactly.
date. They've not had a chance to stop for 2 months. That's delayed their process. So if their wedding is early 2021, I would defer to those brides first. We can definitely do a lot of vetting in terms of that. There's no time to waste really now in terms of sort of coming into play.
That's out the window. So no more just coming in as a show and tell. You can't play house. This is not fairy tale. People's lives are in danger, and time is impacted.
In essence, people will be getting longer appointments. Of course, they will also be getting more separate appointments. So but there'll be fewer appointments. So imagine that my schedule will be reduced by about 2/3 of my clients. So we all are operating under a very different sort of set of standards for us to make our rents and our expenses with 2/3 less clients. That'll be a very big challenge for us. Therefore, we must carefully vet our brides who are serious about buying. We're not going to force you to buy, of course, but you need to be serious about the process at this point. It's not a game, as you said.
Right. And I agree with you, because it's unfair. You know, I remember brides always want, oh, let's just go try dress on. No, you can't. You need to vet it out through your social media and your Pinterests and do all that. Call the salon knowing they carry that specific dress and line that you want to wear, and then make your appointment. I mean, would you be opposed to this is my suggestion, giving brides appointments and they would have to require a secure deposit, you know?
Yes, we're thinking about that, actually, because that does make a bride be a little more serious about the appointment and being on time. You know, again, with the very, very reduced amount of clients we're going to see, it's financially devastating to the store to have no shows at this point, no show clients. So if we have some kind of income from maybe a small deposit made, maybe to cover that commission lost to a salesperson.
Absolutely. And their time, their hourly time.
Yeah, we're a small operation. We're going to see 2 brides probably, I guess, at a time in a staggered sort of schedule. I do believe that charging a nominal fee will vet out those who are more interested and more serious. Of course, we'll refund the fee if they purchase a dress. It'll go right back into the off the price of the dress, of course.
It makes sense, because I can't go to my lawyer's office and say, hey, I'd just like to ask you a couple of questions, and he's not going to charge me that hourly rate.
His clock is always ticking, exactly. We're not like that. We will never be like that. But these are different times. They call for harsher measures, unfortunately.
Right. So now, as far as your designers that you do carry, how has it, because I know we lost market this week and a couple tried to show virtually, and that
Yeah,
had its challenges with
very
the
much
glitches, just because internet is working 10 times harder,
yes, it is
now. So it's making it hard. And then the whole touch and feel experience of being at a show is gone now, you
gone,
know
gone.
so how are you going to be able to go through the process of selecting dresses anyway at this point?
I really don't plan on selecting anything until the next market period. You
Okay.
know, what brides have to remember is that we were in the middle of the receiving of dresses we bought back in October.
Right.
So they have not been shipped. Some of those dresses are still sitting in designers' warehouses. Those deliveries were supposed to be in late February, March, and
Right.
April prior to our market. So most of the stores don't even have, I'd say, 50% of what was purchased back in October.
Right.
So,
So you're
so to the
playing
bride,
catch up.
right. So to us, they're new dresses. To the bride, they're all new dresses as well.
Oh,
I don't,
absolutely.
I don't think many stores are in a financial position after being closed for so long to go heavy-hearted and heavy-handed with a pencil writing new collections. We can see where everything sort of falls out. Let's figure out how many brides will we see and what will our bride be like? What will her budget be? There'll be a lot of changes. We'll sort of navigate those waters first before we continue to move forward with product. Of
Right.
course, we'll be seeing things virtually, visiting showrooms, and having trunk show events in my store. We're
Right.
going to start with trunk in June to preview some of the newer collections of things that I don't have in my store to
Right.
give the brides a chance to see what's happening. But the designers also have to catch up. They've been closed as well. There've been no manufacturing for months, and their priority is going to be getting brides orders shipped, not stock shipped.
Right. Right. Wow. Wow. So this is really a shift that nobody has ever experienced in our lifetime.
A
Ever.
huge shift. Yeah,
Yeah.
a huge shift in how we do business. I'm just thinking about retail in general. General, when you think about larger department stores in New York City, how do you
Bird
reopen
dog.
a department store and keep socially distanced? I mean, the staffing alone would be a challenge to do that. Say on a main floor behind a counter of perfumes or handbags. How do you do that across a counter? How do you sell something across the counter from someone that's only a foot or two away from you?
Right.
If you're concerned about the virus, how do you staff the store? How do you monitor how many people can go into the store? It's very complicated.
Exactly.
I'm very
And
blessed. I'm happy to have a small business now because I'm very blessed.
yeah,
We
it's
can
beautiful.
control it.
And
It's
I've
better
been in your store, and so I see literally you have maybe 5 or 6 dressing rooms
I do have sick.
that expand. And
Yes,
so for me, they were already social distance already.
yes,
Because each
yes.
space
They
was
were
large
large.
enough for 1 or 2 people to be there, the bride and her mother
Yeah,
or her maid of honor, whoever was
yeah,
accompanying her. Like you said, you are taking steps to cut down so there won't be 2, 3 other people. It's bring
yeah,
one person and that's it, to keep it,
yeah,
down, and the health of both them and your staff at the same time. And I think
yeah.
as a small business, people fail to realize that, you know, what you do, you don't just simply, it's not just your business. The 10 people that, or 20 people, whoever the number is that you employ, that's 10 families that you now are
Yeah.
responsible for. So it's not an easy
Yes,
matter of just, hey, it's just me, I'm just going to close the business down. No, people's lives are at stake, families are at
yeah.
stake. So
In
you
fact,
have to protect them.
yesterday, Meredith, I was talking to one of my salespeople. We're just having a lovely catch up. I'm trying to reach out to all of them during this time and see what's happening in their lives as well. They're all healthy, thank God, and have survived this so far. But one specifically said, I'm home with my family. I'm on my unemployment. I'm getting my benefits. I can survive for a little longer. Either bring somebody back who really needs to work, number
Wow.
one, because they need the salary, more than I do, or they have larger families. But she said, I'm also not so in a hurry to come back until we know more about what's happening with the health. She has young children, and
Right.
she's afraid of bringing the virus home to her family. And I don't blame her. I don't blame anybody,
Absolutely.
unfortunately.
Absolutely.
They're afraid.
That's
Very scary.
another issue, that it's not just about the physical health, but the mental state of people will now be
Mental,
impacted by this whole uncertainty that we're living
yeah,
in, you know? So what
yeah, yeah.
message do you have for the brides planning their wedding, creating their budget, and picking their fashion? What message do you have for them?
Well, it's very complex, because I think we're going to be so limited by the size of the wedding moving forward, at least into the middle of next year. The gone are the days of the 200, 300, and 400 person wedding in a ballroom. And then you should have an enormously large outdoor space or indoor space to accommodate so many people and socially distance them at a table or a banquet. It's going to be very complicated. So I sort of see weddings getting a little simpler, actually a lot more simpler for the next, say, 6 to 8 months.
Right.
Not necessarily simple in terms of like the aesthetic, because I think a girl who loves designer clothes and dresses in the great aesthetic is going to ramp it up even for a small wedding. She's not going to just get married in the backyard in her best dress. I think she's going to really pull it out and make it memorable, because all you're going to have really are the photographs of this left over in the videos of it, to mark this time, as always. So I say make it as beautiful as you can, no matter what size. It's not the size of the dress. The size is not the size of the event. It's about the feeling and the feeling that you create. So I'd say reach
Exactly.
out to all your planners, your designers that you're working with, your florists, your caterers, and just see what you can do on a smaller scale. They need to work as well. I feel really badly for a lot of my industry and your industry, Meredith, because they're going to be really underutilized,
Oh,
more so.
absolutely. And I think I love the fact that you said that, because that's our motto anyway. It's not
Yeah,
about the quantity, it's about the
right.
quality of the
Oh,
dress.
yeah,
But any event for that matter. So
yeah,
for
yeah,
me, it's always been, I would rather a bride invest in the most important things: her photos, her dress, the food,
yeah. Right. Her food,
entertaining.
her music. Music.
Exactly. You want to create an ambiance for it, whether it is in your backyard or in a big venue
Yeah.
location. But
And they
the
so
fact of the
so
matter, the fact
yeah,
of the matter is, I really think brides need to really hone in on what it is that you want. What do you want your pictures to tell? What story do you
right,
want your pictures to tell when you look back at it, you know?
right.
And I
Exactly.
wouldn't cut down on my dress, because that's my red carpet moment, and darn it, I'm gonna live it.
Oh, thank you, Meredith. I hope we don't cut down on the dress. Hope they don't. They'll probably cut down on the number of dresses. We were experiencing a tremendous period in the bridal industry when girls were buying multiple dresses, even to wear at their wedding day, 2 to 3 for the wedding day, rehearsal dinner dresses, after
Right.
party dress, engagement party dress, shower dress, bridal luncheon dress, so hopefully those things will slowly begin to come back, and it'll be
Oh, I
again.
I still wear my gown to my couch and watch the Met Opera. I'm not cutting down on shopping at all. In fact, I'm looking for who's having a sale. What are we
Right.
gonna buy? You know?
I do remember 9/11 distinctly. My store opened literally in the shadow of 9/11. I opened in January of 2002, literally after 9/11. And I was a nervous wreck because I
Oh,
felt, what am I doing opening a business about weddings? Who cares about weddings? The world has come to an end, just like it feels like now. But I think being at home all this time and having time to think and reflect and judge a few things, we will come out, I think, come out with a vengeance to want to be married, to
oh,
want to
absolutely.
commit to something, no matter what size the wedding is. We've had a lot of requests. I have a request for today on via email. My lovely niece is at home. She's doing me a favor since I have no employees right now. She's fielding emails for me from brides asking about appointments and certain questions. This girl wants to elope in the next 2 weeks. She calls it COVID elopement. Would I be willing to come in to the office and show her some samples that she could quickly purchase and buy something to wear to get quickly married in, and then we think a bigger thing later on. I think a lot of girls are going to rush to do
I
small
love that.
something small in the garden or at city hall, or with a few friends, maybe in your home or your backyard or a club
Yeah.
or
I
restaurant small, and then come back and do it later. Wear the same dress, but out of the wear it
exactly.
again. Wear it again.
Exactly. That is the best idea. My
Yeah.
brides, are you hearing this? That's the best idea. Go grab your dress, have something small and intimate, and then wear the dress again a year later and throw a big shingding
Oh,
with
big
your
shit.
dress. It's worth the investment.
It's
It's
definitely worth the investment.
so
It's
worth the
forever.
investment.
It's forever investment, really.
And I really think, like you said, that people, brides, will now want to be in love and marriage and everything. I think this is going to revive the whole concept of love and marriage. And because so many people sadly died alone because they
Yes.
couldn't go in. So
Yes.
now we need to rethink our relationship with our maker, with our friends, who our friends are, who are
Yes.
our loved ones, and make strong commitments to people and commitments to ourselves. Plan our future, whatever that future may look like.
Right.
What is it that you want? What's most important to you? Who do you want to celebrate with? And what are you celebrating? And
Right.
family is everything at the end of the day.
Right. And Mary, who do you want to be hunkered down with should this happen again? You know what I mean? That's seriously, I've been thinking a lot about that during this time. It's like, it's a lonely time for a lot of people. And if
Oh,
you
I
don't
know.
have friends or loved ones, it's a very lonely time. And I think this is a time also to learn to love home once again and learn to love conversation with family members across the dinner table.
Absolutely.
And put down the telephone, children, and talk to your parents. Have them talk to you. Have extended family dinners again. I think this love of home will
Oh,
translate into love of relationship and marriage. I think it's all connected with each other.
absolutely. I totally agree. I think this is going to make us appreciate family even more. And
Yes,
I'm already missing my mom every day we speak, and I'm like calling my dad, and
yes,
he's in a nursing home, but still we call the nurse. The nurse was so lovely. She sent a picture of my dad,
yes,
and it's just family. I want to see everybody. I'm ready to go see my sister in Holland with her kids, and I'm like, nope, I want to be with family. I want to be with people I love. We're making dinners. I have my son here and I have my tenants, and we all come down, have dinner. We take turns just
yes.
making dinner. We're like preparing for our own restaurant.
Speaking of restaurants, I live in Harlem and I've been in Harlem for 40 years and I waited so long for this sort of new Harlem to happen with, beautiful restaurants and
Right.
businesses. And it's so nice to finally have them within my walking distance of my community. I don't want to lose them. We have to support our local businesses. We must support our local restaurants, our bakeries, our bodegas on the corner, dry cleaner, everybody who services our neighborhood, because otherwise, when it goes away, it will not come back,
Unfortunately. And I feel like that's why these grants and loans that are available need to be available to the small businesses first, because that is the core of any community.
any
The
community.
capability, yeah, the
Exactly.
capability of a community to thrive and survive comes from the small businesses. And if you take
Yeah.
away that hope, we're gone. We're back to scratch. Yes, we respect big businesses, but at the end of the day, we need our small businesses to survive. And during any economic hardship, the Great Depression and everything else, there has risen from the dust small businesses and great empires. And
Yes.
without that hope, we're gonna just bye. So we need to go back to small communities and family. I think it's important for whatever the term of our lifespan is here on this earth.
Yeah. Agreed.
So thank you so much, Mark. Do you have any last minute things going on? When do you anticipate being open? If nothing else, no more shutdowns.
Well, we'll listen to our fantastic Governor Cuomo. We'll take his direction. They're saying sometime in mid-May, around the 18th. I think more around the end of May, we'll probably open.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to go into the store, like I said, and reconfigure some things and sort of figure out logistically how we're going to operate, set up some systems to do that. I need to work with my vendors, look at the money situation. There's so much to look at, but I'm hoping to open by the end of this month, May. in a very small, limited way. And then hopefully by the summer, we'll be back to normal. But it all depends on testing. It all depends on the virus. We can't do anything until that gets under control. We cannot do, because the worst thing we can have to do is to have to go back inside this
Because
fall.
the second wave would be worse than the first.
Devastating to all of us psychologically, I think financially, emotionally, to have to go back inside after being let out after all these months. I'd rather just wait it through if I had to.
Right.
And then let it be done.
Right. So I agree. Brides, please be patient.
Be patient.
Stay tuned, and we will keep you updated with Mark's progress and his opening date. But you're answering emails anyway, correct?
Yeah, emails, and we are shipping dresses to girls who are, if you have a dress that you have purchased already, you want to know the status of it, give us a call. We will find out from the designer. Just give us a few days because no one's really working. So it's
right.
Like I have one guy who's the president of a company. He's wearing all his hats. He's the president, the shipper, the receiver, the bill payer, and the customer service department. So he's had to let go temporarily, furlough. It's very, very tragic, but it's very beautiful too. We're all kind of getting in touch with a lot of different things while we're home.
Exactly.
I was thinking about the future and how I want my business to be going forward. They want to bring it back to what my original, thoughts were about things, and it's time to really have some good reflection too. Not all negative. It's a positive time for a lot of us.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Like, we need to make sure that as small businesses, we have all our ducks lined up so that we can be on the receiving end of the blessings that will come after this. So I think that's really important. Mark Ingram, can you please tell us, it's the Mark Ingram website, correct? World, www.
It's Mark Ingram Atelier, the name of the business. It's www.miaatelier.com. I'll spell it out, www.miaatelier.com. And we're at 110 East 55th Street, in the Park 55 building, by appointment only, especially now moving forward. We're only by appointment only. So give us a call, give us a text, give us a something, and we'll definitely accommodate you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mark. Please enjoy
Great to see you.
your quarantine self-reflection, self-care time. Enjoy it.
Enjoying my own movies. I'd say that.
Yes, absolutely. Everything. I'm enjoying all my old gowns, so I think I need new ones. I have to flip through my closets to change for each interview now. Everyone? Huh?
Doing is beyond.
Oh my God, I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
For what I'm planning for the next meal.
Can you imagine the best part of the week is going to the grocery store and creating a menu?
It's true. It's so true. Or pulling things out of your cupboard that you didn't even know you had back there.
Or cleaning your closets and doing everything.
Yeah, wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, and that was him. Mark Ingram Atelier is ready for business, but doing it respectfully and making sure that you, their consumer, is safe. Stay tuned. Ciao, Bella.